My name is Ellen, and I'm in Seoul, Korea. Uh, I was born and raised in Korea until I was 16 years old, and moved to United States when I was 16 for study, and came back in 2016. So it's only been a few years since I came back, and I'm adjusting to Korean life. Even though I was born and raised in Korea, because I spent most of my adolescent year and my all my 20s in United States, I'm not used to the I wasn't used to the life in Korea when I first came back. Not anymore. So I needed time to readjust to become more Korean again. And I thought, how much more trouble would foreigners would go through when they're trying to make a life here, um, because it's so different, and that always lingered in my mind, but never really thought about to make anything out of it. But something happened, and so many more people outside of Korea are interested about us. They want to know about Korean culture. They want to know. They love Korea, K-pop, K-fashion, K-beauty, um, and it's I don't know how to put it in words. It's so different than when I first went to United States or when I was in United States. Only thing people actually knew about was Gangnam Style by Psy, and they're like, "Do you?" And every Korean was like asking everyone else, like, "Do you know Gangnam Style?" So it's very different now. Everybody knows BTS and everybody knows K-pop, and now even CNN news talk about how education system in Korea is in danger and things like that. It's amazing how what happens in Korea makes a news on a global standpoint. It's quite fascinating how the changes are. Um, so I think it's a good time to talk about what is different and what is similar to the life outside of Korea, and this would be mostly related to the life outside of Korea, as in the life in southern part of the United States, because that's where I was. So it'll be mostly about those, but I think it'll give you enough information what to expect in Korea. I want to talk about the generality of lifestyle in Korea and how is it compared to the life in the United States. It'll cover housing, bank system, public transportation, but or any kind of transportation. How the driving is in Korea, because I don't drive in Korea. It scares me. I I mean, back in States, I drove for, let's say, 12 years, because I couldn't do anything unless I can drive. But when I came back to Korea, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I don't have to drive. I don't want to drive in Korea because it's scary. I'm not a good driver, that's why. And you know, all kinds of things like that. The little pieces and bits that gets very easily overlooked because we don't know what to talk about, and people outside of Korea don't know what to ask because they don't know what to expect from us. So I want to talk about those. Like, I want to cover the. Uh, I want to talk about why Koreans do the things we do, and the background knowledge of it. I think that'll be very interesting, and hopefully this will help you if you're considering spending a month or a year, or come to Korea for university, or if you love Korea so much, if you want to make a life here. uh, I think this would be very helpful for you. Or if you're just curious about Korea, your curiosity will be answered as well. Um, and I made some list over here. I talked about housing, bank, public transportation already, but I also want to talk about the K beauty and the standards we have and why we have those, racism in Korea, and what else do I have? I mean, I have so many different things I wrote down here. It's like not, it's really random things. I just made a list of things that comes in my mind. So please let me know if you want to know about certain things. because I wouldn't know everything that you want to know about, and it would be very helpful for me to create contents if I know what to cover. So if you want to know certain things, please let me know on a comment below. But until then, I will just go through the list that that kind of came up in my mind, and I think that would be a good starting point. And I think that's a good layout for now. So please come back and see me again for the next video, and I'll see you around. Bye.